Hello students, welcome to my class Software Project Management on Improving Automation through Software Environments. The tools and environment used in the software process generally have a linear effect on the productivity of the process. Planning tools, requirements, management tools, visual modeling tools, compilers, editors, debuggers, quality assurance analysis tools, testing tools, and user interfaces provide crucial automation support for evolving the software engineering artifacts. Above all, configuration management environments provides the foundation for executing and instrument the process. At first order, the isolated impact of tools and automation generally allows improvements of 20% to 40% in effort. However, tools and environments must be viewed as the primary delivery vehicle for process automation and improvement, so their impact can be much higher. Automation of the design process provides payback in quality. The ability to estimate costs and schedules and overall productivity using a smaller team. Round trip engineering describes the key capability of environments that support iterative development. As we have moved into maintaining different information repositories for the engineering artifacts, we need automation support to ensure efficient and error-free transition of data from one artifact to another artifact. Forward engineering is the automation of one engineering artifact from another. More abstract representation, for example, compilers and linkers have provided automated transmission of source code into executable code. Reverse engineering. Reverse engineering is the generation or modification of a more abstract representation from an existing artifact. For example, creating a visual design model from a source code representation. Economic improvements associated with tools and environments. It is common for tool vendors to make relatively accurate individual assessments of life cycle activities to support claims about the potential economic impact of their tools. For example, it is easy to find statements such as the following from companies in a particular tool: requirements analysis and evaluation activities consume 40% of the life cycle costs. Software design activities have an impact more than 50% of the resources. Coding and unit testing activities consume about 50% of the software development effort and schedule. Test activities can consume as much as 50% of the project's resources. Configuration control and change management are critical activities that can consume as much as 25% of resources on a large scale project. Documentation activities can consume more than 30% of project engineering resources. Project management, business administration, and progress assessment can consume as much as 30% of the project budgets. Achieving required quality. Software best practices are derived from the development process and technologies. This summarizes some dimensions of quality improvement. Key practices that improve overall software quality includes the focusing on driving requirements and critical use cases early in the life cycle. Focusing on requirements, completeness, and traceability late in the life cycle, and focusing throughout the life cycle on a balance between requirements evolution, design evolution, and plan evolution. Using metrics and indicators to measure the progress and quality of an architecture as it evolves from high level prototype into fully compliant product, providing integrated life cycle environments that support early and continuous configuration control, change management, rigorous design methods, document automation, and regression test automation. Using visual modeling and higher level languages that support architectural control, abstraction, reliable programming, reuse, and self documentation. Early and continuous insights into performance issues through demonstration based evolutions. Conventional development process stressed early sizing and timing estimates of computer program resource utilization. However, the typical chronology of events in performance assessment: project inception. The proposed design was asserted to be low risk with adequate performance margin. Initial design review. Optimistic assessments of adequate design margin were based mostly on paper analysis or rough simulation of critical threads. In most cases, the actual application algorithms and database sizes were fairly well understood. Mid life cycle design review, the assessments started whittling away at the margin as early benchmarks and initial tests began exposing the optimism inherent in earlier estimates. Integration and test. Serious performance problems were uncovered, necessitating fundamental changes in the architecture. The underlying infrastructure was usually the scapegoat, but the real culprit was immature use of the infrastructure. Immature architectural solutions or poorly understood early design trade offs. Peer inspections, a pragmatic view. Peer inspections are frequently overhyped as the key aspect of a quality system. In my experience, peer reviews are valuable as secondary mechanisms, but they are rarely significant contributors to quality compared with the following primary quality mechanisms and indicators, which should be emphasized in the management process. Transitioning engineering information from one artifact set to another, thereby assessing the consistency, feasibility, understandability, and technology constraints inherent engineering artifacts. Major milestone demonstrates that force the artifacts to be assessed against tangible criteria in the context of relevant use cases. Environment tools, compilers, debuggers, analyzers, automated test suites that ensure representation rigor, consistency, completeness, and change control. Life cycle testing for detailed insight into critical trade offs, acceptance criteria, and requirements compliance. Change management metrics for objective insight into multiple perspective change trends, and convergence or divergence from quality and progress goals. Inspections are also a good vehicle for holding others accountable for quality products. All others of software and documentation should have their products scrutinized as a natural byproduct of the process. Therefore, the coverage of inspections should be across all others rather than across all components. The old way and the new way. The principles of conventional software engineering. The principles of conventional software engineering. Make quality. Quality must be quantified and mechanisms put into place to motivate its achievement. high quality software is possible. Techniques that have been demonstrated to increase quality include involving the customer prototyping, simplifying design, conducting inspections, and hiring the best people. Give products to customers early. No matter how hard you try to learn users' needs during the requirements phase, the most effective way to determine real needs is to give users a product and let them play with it. Determine the problem before writing the requirements. When faced with what they believe is a problem, most engineers rush to offer a solution. Before you try to solve a problem, be sure to explore all the alternatives and don't be blind by the obvious solution. Evaluate design alternatives. After the requirements are agreed upon, you must examine a variety of architectures and algorithms. You certainly do not want to use architecture simply because it was used in the requirements specification. Use an appropriate process model. Each project must select a process that makes the most sense for that project on the basis of corporate culture, willingness to take risks, application area, volatility of requirements, and the context to which requirements are well understood. Use different languages for different phases. Our industry eternal thirst for simple solutions to complex problems has driven many to declare that the best development method is one that uses the same notation throughout the life cycle. Minimize intellectual distance. To minimize intellectual distance, the software's structures should be as close as possible to the real world structure. Put the technique before tools. As undisciplined software engineer with a tool become a dangerous undisciplined software engineer. Get it right before you make it faster. It is far easier to make a working program run faster than it is to make a fast program work. Don't worry about optimization during initial coding. Inspect code. Inspecting the detailed design and code is a much better way to find errors than testing. Good management is more important than good technology. Good management motivates people to do their best, but there are no universal right styles of management. People are the key success. Highly skilled people with appropriate experience, talent, and training are key. Follow with care. Just because everybody is doing something does not make it right for you. It may be right, but you must carefully assess its applicability to your environment. Take responsibility. When a bridge collapses, we ask, what did the engineers do wrong? Even when software fails, we rarely ask this. This fact is that in any engineering discipline, the best methods can be used to software fails. We rarely ask this. This fact is that in any engineering discipline, the best methods can be used to produce awful designs, and the most antiquated methods to produce elegant designs. Understand the customer priorities. It is possible the customer would tolerate 90% of the functionality delivered late if they could have 10% of its on time. The more they see, the more they need. The more functionality you provide a user, the more performance, that means the more functionality the user wants. Plan to throw one away. One of the most important critical success factors is whether or not a product is entirely new. Such brand new applications, architectures, interfaces, or algorithms rarely work the first time. Design for change. The architectures, components, and specification techniques you use must accommodate change. Design without documentation is not a design. Design without documentation is not a design. I have often heard software engineers say, I have finished the design, all that left is the documentation. Use tools, but be realistic. Software tools make their users more efficient. Avoid tricks. Many programmers love to create programs with tricks, construct the performance of a function correctly, but in an obscure way. Show the world how smart you are by avoiding tricky code. Encapsulate. Information hiding is a simple, proven concept that result in a software that is easier to test and much easier to maintain. Using coupling and cohesion. Coupling and cohesion are the best ways to measure software's inherent maintainability and adaptability. Okay. Use the McCabe complexity measure. Although there are many metrics available to report the inherent complexity of software, none is the intuitive and easy to one minute. I am drinking water. Run is intuitive and easy to use as a Tom Maccabees. Don't test your own software. Software developers should never be the primary testers of their own software. Analyze causes for errors. It is far more cost effective to reduce the effect of an error by preventing it than it is to find and fix it. One way to do this is analyze the causes of errors as they are detected. Realize that software entropy increases. Any software system that undergoes continuous change will grow in complexity and will become more and more disorganized. People and time are not interchangeable. Measuring a project solely by person months makes little sense. Expect excellence. Your employees will do much better if you have high expectations for them. The principles of modern software management. Top 10 principles of modern software management. Base the process on an architecture first approach. This requires that a demonstrable balance be achieved among the driving requirements, the architecturally significant design decisions, and the life cycle plans before the resources are committed for full scale development. Establish an iterative life cycle process that confronts risk early. With today's sophisticated software system, it is not possible to define the entire problem, design the entire solution, build the software, and then test the end product in sequence. Instead, an iterative process that refines the problem understanding, an effective solution, and an effective plan. Overall, several iterations encourages a balanced treatment of all stakeholder objectives. Major risks must be addressed early to increase predictability and avoid expensive downstream scrap and rework. Transition design methods to emphasize component based development. Moving from a line of code mentality to a component based mentality is necessary to reduce the amount of human generated code and custom development. Establish a change management environment. The dynamics of iterative development, including the concurrent workflows by different teams working on shared artifacts, necessities objectively controlled baselines. Enhance change freedom through tools that support round trip engineering. Round trip engineering is the support necessary to automate and synchronize engineering information in different formats such as requirements specifications, design models, source code, executable code, and test cases. Capture design artifacts in rigorous model based notations. A model based approach, such as UML, supports the evaluation of semantically rich graphical and textual design notations. Instrument the process for objective quality control and progress assessment. Life cycle assessment of the progress and quality of all intermediate products must be integrated into the process. Use a demonstration based approach to assess intermediate artifacts. Plan intermediate release in groups of usage scenarios with evolving levels of detail. It is essential that the software management process drive towards early and continuous demonstrations within the operational context of the system, namely its use cases. Establish a configurable process that is economically scalable. No single process is suitable for all software developments. Transitioning to an iterative process. Modern software development process have moved away from conventional waterfall model, in which each stage of the development process is dependent on completion of the previous stage. The economic benefits inherent in transitioning from the conventional waterfall model to an iterative development process are significant but difficult to quantify.